Hello children, let us continue today's class knowing about the factors influencing the climate of that region. In the previous class we have learned what is the difference between climate and weather, and climate changes its impact based on the various factors. So what are the various factors that are really controlling the climate of that region are written on the board. One is latitudes, okay, then land and water relation, relief of the land, and upper atmospheric circulation, that means upper air circulation. These are the four factors which is really having the influence on how the climate is of that region. Okay, so overall India have a monsoon type of climate, but its impact or how extreme it is, that is completely based on the factors which are having the control over the climate. So they are also called as what? Do you remember? They are also called as climatic controls. Okay, so let us see what is the first one. Latitudes, distance from equator. So if I just draw a rough figure of the earth, this is equator and this is Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, and this is Antarctic Circle and Arctic Circle. This is equator. As you are moving away from the equator, temperatures falls down. Why? Because the sun's rays falls very slanting as you are going away from the equator. That means the amount of temperature receiving that particular region is less. Did you understand? Yes. And if you just divide this into zones, how many heat zones we have? Total we have 3 heat zones. One is tropical zone, temperate zone, and polar. What is tropical? That is from equator to tropics. What are the two tropics here? Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So this is what the tropical zone. That means this is the region which receives the highest amount of temperatures, because the sun's rays is falling directly on equator. But as you see, as you are going away from the equator, the temperatures are gradually falling down. And especially when you talk about India, India is situated, okay, here. Okay, a box I have drawn over there, rhombus shape. So that means Tropic of Cancer is passing from the middle of our country. That means by this, what do you understand? Southern part of India is receiving high temperatures, which is lying in tropical zone, and whereas northern part of India is situated in temperate zone. By this, what do you understand? North India is receiving the less amount of temperatures and compared to south part of India. See, based on the distance from equator, north part of India and south part of India varies its temperatures. Obviously, that is one of the important factor which is affecting receiving the amount of rainfall. Is different from North India to South India. Southern part of India is close to equator and they do receive the good amount of temperatures. Did you understand? So this is what, how the latitudes, distance from the equator. Okay, now the next one is, now before going to the next one, I would like to show you the slide. Okay, slide number 1. So what you are seeing in slide number 1? See, this is what the sun's rays, how it is falling very slanting as it is going to the north part of the earth. Yes or no? Yes. So that makes or that differs the amount of temperature receiving the center part, or you can say on the equator, and reducing gradually. It is moving towards poles, whether it is north pole or south pole. How much temperature, if you see, that is found in south part of India, the temperature seems to be very less in north part of India. So because of this condition. So as you have seen that north part of India is completely in the temperate zone, receiving the less amount of temperatures, whereas south part of India is closer to equator and it is under tropical zone, receives the good amount of temperatures. That means they are receiving more temperatures, they are receiving good amount of rainfall. So based on that, even the same condition applies to even for the north part of India. So overall, India is situated in this latitudinal extent. The southern tip of India is 8 degrees latitude and the northern tip of India is 37 degrees latitude. And in this, the Tropic of Cancer is passing from the middle of our country. What is the Tropic of Cancer? It is at what latitude? Yes, it is of 23.5 degrees latitude, which is dividing India into two equal halves, north and south. And these two equal halves, that means the North India and South India, is again falling under the different zones, which is making the variation of changes of temperature. And if you just compare from the north part of India, any of the place, if you compare with the southern tip of India, like take example of Kanyakumari, right? Kanyakumari is situated extremely southern tip of India. The temperatures varies to the greater extent. That is because of the changes of latitude and whether what latitude Kanyakumari is situated on and what latitude, whether the north part of that particular region is situated on. Based on that, the temperature receives of that region is completely depends on. Did you understand? This is what the condition of, or you can say this is what the first factor which is influencing the weather, or you can say even climate. Now what about land water relationship? Now when I'm talking about land is having the possibility of extremely getting heated up faster and cools down very faster. So that is what the property of land, as you have learned in your previous classes also, right? So land is the realm which heated up faster and cools down faster, and that is quite reverse condition when you compare with water. Water is not like that. Water gets heated up very slow and cools down very slow. By this, what do you understand? That the land which do not have any kind of water bodies, that land will have the highest temperatures. So highest temperatures are recorded to that particular area or the region which do not have or which do not contain any of the water body, like lakes, or you can say any of the river body, or whether it is a coastal region or not. Any of the water body is situated close to that particular land, which makes the variation of the temperatures receiving. But the land which is situated close to the water body, take example of Andhra, or take example of any of the coastal state, that varies. Do you remember in the previous class we have learned about the climographs? In that climographs we have discussed the variation of climate comparing Chennai with Delhi. Delhi is the region which do not have any major water bodies over there. So it is extremely increasing its temperatures and extremely decreasing its temperatures. But whereas Chennai is not like that. Chennai is very close to the water body, seas. So it is regularly receiving the cold or warm sea breezes, not only during seasons but also during day and night times. Just see in your slide number 2, which is there even in your textbook. So what you are seeing in your slide 2, which is very colorful and beautiful. Are you seeing in the first figure of the slide 2, that is the daytime, and the land is becoming too warmer, whereas sea is still cool. Okay, and during daytime, cold sea breezes are having its impact over the land, and whatever the warm air is from land is moving towards the water bodies. So whatever the warm air is moving from land to water bodies, during nights that effect will be there. Okay, so the surface of the water body gets heated because of the warm air which is coming from the land. Are you understanding? And during nights, see the second picture of this slide 2. In the second picture, you are just seeing about the night scenario. Whatever the warm air which was coming during daytime from land to sea, and the surface of the water body got heated because of the warm air. Now during nights, what is happening? Whatever the cold breezes received from sea to land, okay, and during night that cold land breezes are moving towards water bodies, and whatever the warm air is found, that means the surface of the water body got heated up, right? During the time of daytime, the surface of the water got heated up because of the warm air which is moving from the land. Now that impact will be there during nights. So whatever the coldness, that will have impact during daytimes by decreasing the extreme heat over the land, and during nights it is giving warm air which is trying to balance again the coldness over the land. So in that way, wherever the water bodies or whatever the land which is close to the water bodies are always seems to be balancing the heat over the land. Not only heat, even the coldness. Okay, so whatever the coldness and whatever the heat over the lands, that will be balanced by the water bodies and whatever the breezes that they are giving, whether the so cold sea breezes during daytime and warm breezes during night time. So this is very advantageous, right children? So it is very good that the people do not have to face because of high temperatures or very low temperatures. So it is very advantageous. Yes, now please come back to the board. So that is the second climatical control, the relation between land and water. It's very good, balancing of the climate. It's very good indicator, where people are always safe side and they do not face any kind of health issues because of high heat, very high heat and very cold temperatures. Now what is the third climatic control? That is relief. Relief means what? Whenever we talk about relief, we will just remember about the different landforms. What are the different landforms? We have mountains, plateaus, and plains. Mountains are highly elevated. Plateaus are not very highly elevated, not very low elevated. Okay, compared to plains, plateaus are elevated, but plains are the low lying lands, and where the altitude is increasing, temperature decreasing. Why? When altitude increases, when the height increases, the density of the air is over the surface of the earth. Do you remember in grade 9 you have learned in atmosphere lesson? Where is the density of air is mostly found? Just over the earth's surface. As you are going away from the earth's surface, what happens? The air quantity is less and the temperature seems to be also less. Did you understand? So over mountains, elevation is very high, and plains, the elevation is very less. So the temperatures will be very highly experienced in plains. 3 times you can say, doubled and tripled of the temperature experienced. But whereas plateaus, They are not very highly temperature or not very low temperature. But comparing to plains, plateaus receives little less amount of temperatures, but much good amount of temperatures when compared to mountains. So that is the reason over the mountainous regions the temperatures are very less. That is the reason people try to, or people prefer to go to hill stations during summer months. Do you know that? Yes, and especially people wants to even go to coastal regions also. Why coastal regions? There will be nice, wonderful, pleasant atmosphere over there and give the good sea breezes. So overall, by this we understand that hilly regions do have a different type of climatical condition. Plains also have a different types of climatical conditions. Especially the plains, whatever the plains are situated very close to the water bodies, do not have too much of extreme variation in the temperatures. Like already we have discussed in water and land relationship. If these plains are situated very close to the water bodies, then the extreme temperatures of these plains can be little balanced. Not only plains, even I am talking about even plateaus. Okay, but otherwise these are very low temperature regions, these are moderate temperature regions, and these are seems to be very highly temperature regions. So overall, based on their elevation, the amount of temperature received is different, and accordingly the climate of that region is found. Did you understand? So this is all about relief. In India, what all the plains and what all the plateau regions and what all the mountainous regions. So you have a picture in your mind, right, that you have learnt in your first chapter, India relief features, right? So where are the mountainous regions and the plains, northern plains? This is there the temperature seems to be little different, and over plateaus also the temperature, or you can say the climatical conditions are different, and in the coastal region is again different. Even islands also the climatical conditions are quite different. That is based on the, that's what I said, based on the climatic controls. In that, even relief is one of the important factors. So based on the relief, the climate of that region is again differs. Did you understand? Now what is the last one is about upper atmospheric circulation. This is completely new for you. So you might be already learned latitudes, land and water relation, ship as well, even relief. This all we have, you people have already learned, maybe some part you know from grade 9, and about relief you have learned in your grade 10 chapter 1. But this upper atmospheric circulation is completely new for you. Upper atmospheric circulation is a type of winds which are blowing at 25 degrees north. I am not saying it is only 25 degrees northern hemisphere, it is also found in the southern hemisphere. But overall we are learning about climate of India, no? So we have to do something only about what is happening in the northern hemisphere only. Okay, so 25 degrees northern latitude is passing through India. Yes or no? So this region, like already have said you, this is Tropic of Capricorn, and just above to this you can just draw a imaginary line once again, and this line is, you can just assume it as 25 degrees north. So at this place we can see specifically a certain type of winds will be blowing with the greatest pressure. Okay, and these winds which are with great speed, they are called as jet streams. What they are called as? They are called as jet streams, and they are found around 12,000 meters height, and during summers we can see these winds blow with a greater speed, especially in summers the speed will be little less, say 110 kilometers per hour, but whereas in winters it's movement is very fast, or you can say the speed is much high, that is around 184 kilometers per hour. That's what I was saying. What are jet streams? That is the reason. Jet stream, like jet plane. Jet means what? Here something it is sounding about very fast moving. No, so that is what, as these winds are moving with greater speed for all the time over this 25 degrees north latitude only, that winds are called as jet streams. They are of 12,000 meters height, I have said, right? Above the earth surface. They are 12,000 meters height above the earth surface, and they move with a speed of 110 kilometers during summers and 184 kilometers per hour during winters. What is the importance of these jet streams? Especially wherever these jet streams are blowing, all the neighboring regions of these jet streams, they have their impact by reducing the temperatures. That means jet streams where they are blowing, the neighboring regions all, it will reduce the temperatures. That means it makes cool. So wherever these jet streams are blowing, there the temperatures are falling down and bringing lot of cold and even bring rains. So that is what the importance of this jet streams, and that is only found blowing to which latitude? Yeah, it is blowing over 25 degrees north latitude. That means just above the Tropic of Cancer latitude. That means we can see foot of Himalayas. Foot of Himalayas means what? Absolutely down of this Shivalik ranges. You remember, right? So just down of this Shivalik ranges or this foot of Himalayas, most probably this 25 degrees north latitude is passing through, where we can see these jet streams are blowing and bringing lot of rainfall and making the surroundings very cool. So this is also a different type of climatical conditions prevail over these regions. That means around this 25 degrees north latitude. Even southern hemisphere also jet streams are found, but we have nothing to do with southern hemisphere's jet streams. Okay, so how do these jet streams are actually formed? That is completely based on the pressure belts. Do you remember the pressure belts? If you remember the pressure belts, I'll just once again draw the rough figure. This is equatorial low pressure belt, okay, and this is subtropical high pressure belt, and this is also subtropical high pressure belt. Okay, so this subtropical high pressure belt is around 30 degrees of latitude. So there, because of that high pressures, okay, so that means this high pressure belt is very close to this. That means the impact of this high pressure belt, okay, that will have a complete influence of this jet streams. Did you understand why jet streams are seems to be very cold and with very great speed? High pressure means what? That they have a good high atmospheric pressure. So they are nothing but that is what the jet streams. Did you understand, children? So that will have, because of the influence of these jet streams, north part of certain region of India will have its impact to cool down and give better rainfall over that region. So this is also different condition to have the having the type of climate over that place. Did you understand? So having, or you can say the variation of the climate differs in these certain conditions, maybe latitude, altitude, presence of water bodies, and obviously the upper air circulation. These are the four important, very important factors which are influencing and having the variation of the climate of that specific region. Now, did you understand the topic? Now, before leaving, let us see slide number 3. Just see in your slide number 3, are you seeing that blue colored one? Or the jet stream, it is written over there. Yes, it is indicating about the temperatures are very cold over there. So that I want to show because of the pressure belts. Are you trying to see the pressure belts? Yes. those are the trade winds. Okay, so try to make out where are the trade winds are blowing, and the jet streams do have the impact of because of this pressure belts. Okay children, now please come back to the board. Hope you have understood today's topic, and whatever the certain questions being given in your textbooks which are related to today's concept, so the questions will be asked for today's homework. So thoroughly you go through this part, and so that will help you out to give your answers that what I am going to give you as homework. So these are the certain questions are there. Out of this I may be asking you a specific question so that you should be able to answer it with a relevant points. Okay children, so thank you for the next class.